Hello everyone, it's nice having you here again on another episode of Last Days in Uni, a space where we let final year students speak their mind on what truly matters to them. I am Abdulhamid Alabi Adeyema, an exceptional masterpiece of alcoholic, the best of creators. On this episode of Last Days in Uni, I have with me an amazing finalist from the Department of Pasture and Range Management, PRM. He was a known face among his peers until he made himself invisible following the death of his aspiration. Our guest was a one-time welfare director of NASA, now Hassan, and a former HOC. Let me add a little sauce to his introduction. People say his name is Victor, yet he couldn't get victory of his election. Welcome our finalists on this episode. Victor Ayodeji Ogunkomaya, VICTORKING. King.
Nice to meet you, bro.
It's nice having you here. That was just a few, but do you have anything to add to your introduction before I move on? That I probably don't ask. Maybe you are into a business or something you love to add to that.
Well, you said everything, and you added spice to the soup already. So let me help you and finish it. So you said the death of my political career. My political career did not die. I just gave room for the younger generations to grow. And again, you mentioned something about making myself invisible. I didn't make myself invisible. I was preoccupied.
We will still get there.
So you
we still get there. Let's start from your name. I want to ask, where are you from? The reason I'm asking is that Ayodeji, as a part of your name, is a Yoruba name.
Yeah.
And Ogunkomaya, to me, it does not sound like a Yoruba name. So that is why I'm curious. Where are you from?
Well, like you said, you are not pronouncing it well. It's okay. Ogunkomaya.
Ogunkomaya.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like it's an Ijebu dialect actually. So I'm from Ogun State.
Okay.
Sorry, from Ijebu. Ijebu East to be precise.
So
Ijebu Imoweninu.
So Ogunkomaya.
It's the dialect.
Ogunkomaya. So what's the meaning of that? I know the meaning of Ogun, but Maya, yeah.
It means like a confidence booster.
Okay.
So you can just do the translation like that.
Okay.
You know, go to a vast Ijebu, like that's what it means actually.
Okay, all right. So let's talk about your department, PRM, Pasture and Range Management. You know, there are different speculations about your department that people have, but then I want you to tell us some of the things you think people misunderstand about your department or they don't get right about your department that you want to clear before we now move into your own aspect of uni life fully.
Okay, the first thing I would like to clear, or the first assumption I would like to clear, is that PRM does not involve cattle editing about rare human. Like it's more about animal feed production. That's one thing we have in common with both the animal production and health service students and the animal nutrition students.
Okay.
We are more about feed production, and we deal mostly with forages. And forages can either be grasses, legumes, or shrubs, or in fact sometimes even browse, depending on what or the composition of feed they are trying to produce.
Okay.
So you get. And PRM mostly deals with different inclusion, like it just means how I say it, production of feed in total for the consumption of ruminants.
Okay, so
and it's not just ruminants again, also monogastric animals like chickens and rabbits too. They benefit from this feed making. And we have different method of making this feed. We have pelletized feed concentrates. We have the normal that everybody's vast with. We have the silage. We have the
those things that we are doing.
You said the DPI
from your department, and your department want to kill me actually with assignments. Go and do this. Go and do that. Go and do this.
You said just the learning. Now which we don't deal with is let's start with that.
So PRM is not. I don't think PRM is a popular course to students who are in secondary school. So they may not know there is a course like PRM that is in existence. So I want to ask, did you choose PRM from the beginning, or FNAB gave you PRM?
Well, I'll be very honest. When I applied for FUNA, the course I actually chose was animal production and health service.
Oh, that's my department.
So, but I won't say I was unfortunate. I would just say I was lucky to be given
Yeah,
the
well.
course of pastoral and range management because I've grown to actually appreciate and love the course. And some people will be like, nah, lie, nah, because you don't get choice. Actually, I have a choice. I
Mm,
could have crossed. I had a good CGPA enough for me to cross to any department at 200 level. I decided to stay.
mm,
So PRM is one of those how I say unique and growing courses that I think FUNAB is the only one offering PRM
wow.
as a particular course. Every other universities are doing it as an associate course under a department, something like that.
Okay.
Or like FUNAB is offering it as a course on its own. That shows how unique it is. And that for it being unique is that PRM itself as a course is like ours is a gold mine that people have not been able to explore. It's an aspect of agriculture that people have not diversified
Me
into.
too.
And I'm very sure from the little experience you said you've had with us for in the last 3 weeks, you said no say
Even
money
though it
did,
is stressful.
money did there, whether I like it or not. So it's an
Yes,
aspect.
I agree. I agree that it's really all those courses. I believe there is none of them is actually a waste, and PRM actually stood out. But then, just like every other aspect of agriculture, it requires more capital to
Mm-hmm.
establish oneself in line of the PRM than even some other part of agriculture.
Not just capital alone. Like you actually need to know what you are doing. You need to know what you're doing because and like pasture, like in his own term, pasture is all around us. It's something that if it's just about you just having the knowledge for it, knowing the knowledge about having knowledge about it, you don't actually need capital in say. But if you want to go into production on a large scale, that's when you need large capital. But if you want to maintain your subsistence way of farming, it's something that
Okay.
you can just have in your compound and you just so production for your animal. Probably you are rearing a sheep or you are rearing a goat. But I know that inside your compound you cannot grow the amount of forage that a cow will eat. But at least for sheep and goat, you should be able to produce that all by yourself.
Okay. So now talking about the department, 100 level, 200 level, 300 level, 400 level. You started with us from 100 level now.
Yeah.
So you are not a direct entry student. So 100, 200, 300, 400, and this 500 level. How has the department been treating you? How has it been so far for you?
Well, I enjoyed my stay in the department from 100 level till I got to 400 level. That's when things started getting real. Because when we were 100 level, we didn't really have the opportunity to linger around college courses and departmental courses like that. We started doing our departmental courses from 300 level.
Yes.
300 level, I just felt like they just gave us, they were spoon feeding us based on the fact that okay, we are still new to the system on Tawabi baby. Let me just put it that way. But immediately we got to 400 level,
Everything changed.
and change, power change, and so at 400 level, ni ati mo aye. That's when we started knowing that we're in the department. So
Wow.
department has been nice actually. It has been a nice experience from 100 level to 400 level. Let me just keep it at that.
It has been a nice experience, but a little bit of it's stressful. Definitely, it's
Ah,
going to be stressful. It's going to be stressful. Looking back, out of all these levels, which of them is the most difficult level for you
when you
in
mean from
particular?
100 level
100 level to
to
500
500
level.
level? 500 level, my bro, 500 level.
Why is it okay? Okay. I think the fact is because you have to combine your project and classes.
And aside that, to other side also, because when I hear, if you know guide,
A
bro,
lot.
if you are
The financial aspect, we spend almost every single day.
ha,
The school fee is not even only the expenses of final year. If you calculate all this, buy that, do this, submit this, contribute for this, those ones alone gan they are something on their own. So now talking about your aspiration you mentioned earlier that you also wanted to clarify something. So from that election, what are the things you let me okay before I even go to your contesting as welfare director as FUNAPSU level. So let's first start from the NASA level as the welfare director.
okay.
How was the experience like for you being the welfare director of NASA
Okay,
then?
I would like to correct one notion. It's not NASA. When I became the welfare director, it was
It was
ASAN.
ASAN already.
Yeah. So like
Okay.
was it said before me that it was
Okay.
NASA. So it
Okay.
was ASAN. I was the second welfare director of ASAN.
ASAN. What was the
So
first one?
first I think it was Flex.
Flex.
It
Oh,
was
oh,
Flex.
oh, oh.
So I'm the
Okay.
second welfare director for
Okay.
Hassan. But it was a good experience, and it was an opportunity to get to meet students and build relate with students, and it gave me the avenue to also build myself, because there are a lot of experience you get from serving people and relating with the student populace. There are some things that you have to be open to that on a normal day you won't necessarily give cognizance to you understand. Yeah, I got the opportunity to meet a lot of people. But some of the friends I have today, self, I got them through through there.
That way.
I think it was the likes of Ravoli, CSO, in fact, AY corporate. When me and AY corporate started talking back to back when I was the house and welfare director, even the likes of Samwise and other notable student bodies in the school, I met them when I was the welfare director, and it gave me the opportunity to extend my connections to um throughout the university. Because as of right now, if you want to get to anybody, unless if I don't know someone that knows the person, I'll definitely connect with the person.
Okay.
So it gave me connections. That's one thing I would say. Give me connections, and also gave me the opportunity to learn few things about management,
Mm.
because I was in charge of a lot of things, down from the tutorial conducted by Hassan, down to the planning, so not planning, the Hassan farm or pen, the renovation, the construction, and the repair of some particular aspect of it, and at large the total welfareism of the students of the college. Because at that time I think I was the first welfare director to like change the whole scenario of ìwé nìkan ló ń fún wa nìkan mí gbà. I think I gave each level different souvenirs.
Oh,
I
wow.
gave different each level. I gave 100 level to 200 level. I gave them the normal souvenir that I normally get the notebook. 400 level at that time, we gave them the art,
Arts.
and the current 500 level there. About one ṣe ó wà ń bẹ̀. I think we threw an ó wà ń bẹ̀ party for them. Wọ́n ṣe ní kí wọ́n kò kọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ náà OOPL.
Was it free?
And no, it was like we
You
shouldered
subsidized.
some subsidized
Okay,
that would shoulder some responsibilities
yeah.
for them, and they concluded that they added their own money to and just that. So that was our own way of like doing something different for every level, not just doing a particular and 500 level. Don't see one Nick of a few wishes.
Definitely.
People that need it are the younger ones, the one is lower levels. After the 400 level that are going to FPY, you don't need a jotter. You need the jotter. So probably you just need to just scribble something. But what we need to a farm gears, which was the art that we provided at the from the administration in that period.
And I think the art for the FPY student was a commendable effort, because subsequently, even as kind of they replicate that system. So where they started giving FPY students, I think it was this bag,
Yeah.
this flexible bag. So there are things that outsiders see that you cannot see the in total of the system if you are not into it. What are some of your expectations that you think, oh, like when I become the welfare director, these are the things I expect. These are things I think should be this, should be this should be this should be this. But on getting there, you realize it is a different situation from what you are seeing from outside. What are some of those things?
Okay. Before I became the welfare director, I actually thought that okay, the job of the welfare director, how I say it, was not limited. I didn't know that everybody has a particular jurisdiction they were limited to. That you have to like work in conjunction with different offices to be able to achieve
Okay,
something. I just figured out that okay, anything that has to just do with welfareism, that the welfare director will be the one in charge of it. But when I got into the office, and then I started hearing about budgeting, started hearing about okay, iṣẹ́ èèyàn kan lélẹ̀, iṣẹ́ èèyàn kan lélẹ̀. You have to go through this particular channel before you can get to this, before you can do this, before you can do that. You have to seek some people's approval, and you have to talk to some particular people before you can do. And that process, before you get that done, whatever ṣe gan, á ti sú ẹ, á ti sú gbogbo àwọn tẹ́fẹ́ ṣe nǹkan fún gan. In fact, they won't forget that you want to do something. So those kind of channels, those kind of stress, it can be discouraging. But once you know what you want to do and you are determined, something you can easily outmaneuver. And from there itself, you can, if you are able to succeed on that, you should be able to, like I was saying, it should be easier for you. Let's just put it that way. Because coming into the system, I'll be honest with you, I did not have any experience. The only experience I had was being the head of class back then. and you can't compare leading 114 students to catering for the welfareism of over 3,000 students inside the colleges. It's two different things. So you get, so that's one thing I learned there.
Okay. So your experience as the HOC, you serve for how many sections as the HOC?
Let's say eight. Or that's a section that's like four.
Like first, that means you dropped when you want to post to 500, when we want to enter
Let's
500.
just say 4.5 sha, because I stopped being the HOC towards the ending of first semester. That was due to personal reasons and some other things. So I stopped being the HOC.
There are speculations that you quitted because you did not win the election.
No, that's not the come on. I've been through thick and thin. That's not even the reason. The reason I stopped was because I got to final year and the stress and the pressure was getting too much. And as a point, you just have to like focus on yourself. I've served the department wonderfully well, and I've been this one deep tier room to me bound. So at this
So by on corners.
all the lumo, but if you can't be yourself, I used to be. But I've got them through the thick and thin already. So the final lap is just left to individual efforts. Sure you understand. So and the new HOC blessing is actually performing wonderfully well. But I didn't even know that it would be the one that would later pick up the mantle.
Was it your assistant?
It was not my assistant. Well, it was someone that usually works with me. I'm also sometimes I delegate some responsibilities to him back then. So I was really happy when it became the choice because I like coming back like only in your field if you're in left. So you understand someone competent and someone capable. So I was really happy for that for that.
Share the story of how you actually became the HOC of PRM. Yes.
Now,
I would love to listen to that.
This is going to be a very, very funny story. Okay, coming from an honest view, when I became the this is how I became the HOC, honestly. When I was in 100 level, I didn't really know much, know any of my department. I was majorly with APA students. I don't know if you remember when Flex used to take us around for some tours after we finished our medical.
Okay, that was when we were doing registration.
I was with you. I don't know if you were there.
Yeah, well, I wasn't.
I was with your department mate. I was always with any information. I think there was a point
because your first choice was actually
yeah,
my department.
I was in your departmental group before I now okay, no, we are different entities. So like there. So the day they said they want to do election for HOC for PRM, I was actually in my room. It was raining actually that day. So I was just lying down, just finished eating. So I was like, oh, what I do for house? I know you do anything, I just throw enter inside the school and see how school environment be. So I just took the stroll. On my way, I met some of my department mates. I didn't even know they were my department mates. I didn't know we were going to the same place. So I just greeted them because normally I always greet people. Even if I know you, I don't know you, I will shall greet you. So I just greeted them and I just went on my way. Not knowing I was going to meet them at the hall. So while going there, I even met someone. I almost got lost. Sef. Mo lọ sí Kólánì, mo lọ ń gba ọ̀nà Kófẹ́k. And it's not my fault. Mo bèrè lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀gbọ́n kan. Ẹ̀gbọ́n yẹn sì mí lọ́nà. That ẹ̀gbọ́n, anywhere you are, God will judge you.
From Motion Grant.
I was like,
Kófẹ́k.
So
I'll go back.
I met one of my departmental mates that was his hostel was in school. So I think he was staying at Nice then. Òun ló mú mi lọ sí ibi tí Kólánì mi wà. That okay, this is Kólánì. We now went there. I didn't even know it was my departmental mate. I just followed him. So as we got there, we sat down, and the then president of ASAN then, that's it, NASA rather, was Comrade Victor Adeola. I think he was an APA student too. So initially, when they started giving the speech of okay, the responsibilities and the role HOC play in the life of students or his colleagues, I was actually not interested because I don't like wahala. Anyone that knows I don't like stress. I'm this kind of person that I'm easy going. I don't do past myself. Sure you get. But after they started talking, they started raising and highlighting some important factors and an important role and some things that the HOC does. He said one thing that actually got my attention. He said how efficient your HOC is will determine how good your grades will be. I thought about that. It's true. Tábà lọ kólé ayé wa lé ọwọ́ èèyàn tó máa bá ti wá jẹ́ ṣáà we really go anywhere. But still, it was not enough to convince me to come outside. So they brought out when they called out for people that were interested to contest for the position. I was not even outside. I was just sitting down there. So I think two guys and a lady came outside. They said they were interested in the position. So he now asked them to address the congregation that okay, you speak to your people, you are the HOC, you'll be doing more of addressing from now on. So talk to your friends. So the lady was a bit shy. She was not really put herself together and speak. I don't want to say the movie, man. She G and what my sister.
I think I can guess the person. I can guess the lady now.
So
I can guess the
so you
lady.
understand? And the other guys. So when they asked them to address the crowd, they too were a bit reluctant to talk. But the guy that actually spoke, well, I don't want to throw shades at the Ibadan people, but accent, I'm Ibadan, but bro,
Then
it's
I understand. But there is something we call mother tongue interference. There is no how you want to do it. It will
so
reflect in
he
your
was
speaking of
he was
English.
pronouncing re or like she or something. So like it could totally throw the entire congregation of
Oh,
that entirely. Later they sort of that is university initial. But that was not even the main issue. So at the end of everything, I think he invited Osmosis then. I think that it was the general HOC of the set before us and also the HOC of ABG. So he called him to come and share some experience with us. I think they invited Sammy Crown too. That was the 400 level, sorry, 300 level HOC of AMP at that time
okay.
to come and give a speech. So Sammy Crown said something, said, if you are the HOC, just have that back of your mind that 2 days to exam, you will still be running around for these guys. They will be in their house, they will be reading. You will be inside this school, you will be running and be sorting out their wala. If you are not ready to make that sacrifice, just go away from here now because oh, le wa ṣiṣẹ́ wa wọnú omi tán kò ṣe máa kígbe òtútù. If you know you are not capable of sacrificing your time or forgoing some things that are important to you for the sake of the department, it's better you don't even get yourself into it. As he said that, that's everybody went back to go and sit down. Nobody wants
Mi
to
lè wá
even
kú mi lè fẹ́ràn ẹlẹ́rù kí n ru ẹrù ẹlẹ́rù kí n fa tèmi dání.
so sure you understand. So as they went back to go and sit down, yeah, when I was there, I didn't even have any interest. So they now said, so nobody's interested in being the HOC. That's when Adiola Victor came to me. It was not like, boy, one of butter. He was saying it casually, like as a joke that probably I should go outside and do this. I know I don't have any interest to pay. They like Wala from me. So and I made the suggestion that probably if they can conduct the election online, that probably will be able to get more reception from people, that people will be able to contribute, or we will see someone that will volunteer or willingly come outside. It was like no, that they called the meeting and they sent out the graphics weeks ago that anybody that is actually interested in it will have found his way to school. So that, that the HOC is going to be somebody out of us here and they will take that HOC before we leave here today. See what I'm going. So as they now called did another well, let me call it altar call. They called for the second time that Talo Mashi Kini.
Ẹ wá ṣe Jose
You come
jọ̀ọ́.
outside. So you get that's how a guy came outside. And it was only the guy that was there. They were not like, will he not be the HOC? They want anybody do my dad or anything. So as he was not looking as if okay, me know yours be like saying I only him. But I go do solidarity stand. Them she bought and
Not knowing that.
you get. So as I now got there, they now asked us that okay, we should both address the congregation. Since that's what they did for the last set of people, I would talk to our people. Based on the fact that I was the last person that came outside, they asked me to speak first.
Yes, okay.
And one thing about that, what God blessed me with is that I'm a very vocal person. And when it comes to addressing people, I am actually very good at it. So I told them and I mentioned a particular point. I said, I know we don't know each other from anywhere and we are meeting here for the first time. But if I'm ever given the opportunity or the chance to be your HOC, this work is not a work that only me, I will be the only one that will be doing it. You guys will also come in too. I'm not doing it alone. We are doing it together. As long as you guys support me and you are my backbone through this journey, we should not have any issue. Everything will go smoothly. That you guys just need to just support me. If you support me, you'll be able to get the best from me. That's all I said. So as I said my own, everybody shall clap, they said everything, they shall also cheer. So we now go to my friends, but I go like, does not have anything he wants to say that you don't talk everything. Say, make it a go. So that's how I became the HOC.
Wow.
That's how I became the HOC then. And the lady that came outside first became the assistant HOC.
I get. So I think I know I perfectly confirm who she is now actually, and that was a very great experience considering the fact that You were not even prepared to be the HOC, and still you, when it happened, you took it and you performed well. That was good. What are your top three challenges that you faced as the HOC?
One is credibility. And when I say credibility, it's not like you need to gain people's trust before you can take some particular decisions. If people don't trust you, they don't trust you to take decisions for them. You always have issues, and especially when it comes to money. That's one of the issues every HOC go on face when it comes to management of funds or money. If people don't trust you enough to handle their money, you always have problem. And to God be the glory, even till when I stop being the HOC, I've never for once had have any issue that will take me to SDC or even my studies office regarding management of fund. Normal thing about report me, probably they said I fẹ́ lọ submit assignment for the crew maker to dey there, that kind of thing. And you cannot, because of one person, I cannot delay the submission of other students because of one person. But aside from credibility and what else? Just that whoever
Do you have issues with people sending fake receipts when they have to pay for a particular thing, especially manual?
100 level yẹn ti ṣẹlẹ̀ gbẹ̀yìn. And one thing I like my department meetings for is that they are actually credible people when it comes to dealing with money. If they will pay, they will tell you they will pay, and when they will pay, they will pay. But so they pay, and the reason why we had issues of fake transfer was because we were just meeting each other, orí tútù àti orí gbígbẹ, from different homes. We just met there, and you know we have some sodics among us, and tó gbọ́n, and they believe they are smart. Or dem kan enter one very bag gan baba ńlá accountant you go already say wo. So one thing about me is that before I make any payment for any manual, I will sit down. I don't care if it takes me overnight. I will cross check every record of payment that comes into my account with the list of people that made payments that some send their receipt inside the group. I will cross check it one by one, because at the end of the day, if there's a mistake in the accounting, it's either I foot the bill of the money, or
That is what is likely to happen.
or I go and stir up problems inside the group that when you did me, are you who will pay this money because I cannot pay for this thing. I've had instances that people made fake transfers that I already bought the manual already. Before I discovered it was a fake transfer, I thought the money that there's a mistake in the account, or probably that owó kan pé ni, or somebody make payment or they reversed it. You know, once they transfer for me. But later when I called the person, I was like, bro, why you go do me fake transfer on top manual wey be say you go still use? He say make I no vex, say he no guide and he no know as what, you no guide and you no fit talk.
As you fit transfer.
Now I say I bought manual for the guy sef for my own personal money, because he's an artist, he's a member of the department, and I want charges kékeré yẹn tá máa rí lórí manual yẹn kó tó máa wà fún náà nìyẹn. But you see people that they are not able to buy manual at that particular period, and you remember 100 level gbogbo part tá máa ní, it was always impromptu. You don't have chance to prepare for anything.
Yes.
Once the lecturer just calls that okay, or the practical coordinator calls that okay, you're having a practical next week, automatically you are getting that manual within that week. Yes. And everybody must have that manual before that practical day. So both that impromptu and that rush hour, or that rush feeling, but man ṣẹlẹ̀ tó pé èèyàn mi ò ní rówó ra manual, or they end up doing things that they will not do normally based on fear and pressure, because anybody will feel. So nǹkan tó máa ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ni.
In 400 level, going to 500 level, you contested for the office of the financial welfare director, and as it was, you were defeated. So, what are some of the lessons you learned from that experience, and what can you say about the experience generally?
You said you use the word defeated. Well, I just felt like the best contestant won, because I will tell you one thing: everyone that contested in my category gave it their all.
That's it.
And only the best person won. Because when it comes to politics, anybody will say,
that means you are not the best.
I didn't say I was the best. I didn't say I was the best. I didn't say, I'm not saying I'm the worst candidate.
I'm not saying you are the worst. I said, from what you said the best.
The best candidate won.
So you were not the best.
Well, I will just say one thing. And that's another thing is that
it is what you said.
I will just say one thing, and that thing is that the choice of the student populace is what we'll go with. And to them, it felt it was the best option, and which is actually performing their expectation. So you understand?
See what you did there.
So you get, so like I said, the best candidate won.
So what are some of the lessons you learned from that experience?
Well, once I learned that, okay, about being I was I learned about planning strategy, and at the same time multitasking, because that was one of the hardest periods for me on campus, because I was an APY student, and the stress of going to farm, after leaving farm start going up and down, talking to people, trying to convince them, trying to introduce yourself to people, trying to get people to know who you are and what you are trying to sell to them, can be very draining, and how I say it, can be very draining and time consuming. So the ability to balance all of that with my own personal life was something I learned to like manage. And another thing I learned was that politics is not for somebody that is emotional.
Mm. I know more about that.
So when I mean someone that is emotional, if you want to do politics, you need to be prepared for both the win and the loss. And what that was one thing I actually did, because I don't know if you noticed, immediately after the election, I just continued my life,
Yeah,
because politics is not the do or die
it's
affair.
fun.
But if you are being competitive, you know how you go about it. But it's not the do or die affair. And one thing about me is that by myself, what is worth doing right is worth doing well. So I gave it my all, and the result is what I got.
Okay.
So I'm not beating myself up about it or feeling like probably I'm inadequate or something. No, no, no. I did my best. I did what I could do, to the point at which me myself I was convinced that no, if anything happen aside from this, it's not my fault.
Every there is this mantle that I use. Anything that happen after your best effort is the will of God. I just take it like as
It's my
such.
fault. It's just what is just designed to happen, and I'm actually grateful that I didn't even emerge.
We're happy that you did not win.
So like I'm actually very happy that I didn't even emerge as the welfare director, because the amount of stress I'm going through currently as a 500 level student in the Department of Pasture and Range Management under my own supervisor,
So,
if I was to merge it with the responsibilities of the West City welfare director, I would have broken down,
mm,
because it's not actually easy. The amount of stress that actually comes with that responsibility is not something that you can manage with the kind of situation I find myself in
all right.
currently.
So we are finally moving to the end of the section. So we are coming to your project. That's going to be the final one. But before that, looking back, what are your best? Let's just limit it to three. Your best three moments, memories in FUNAB that you will not forget even after leaving this school.
Okay, the first one is first day I came on campus. I was actually impressed by
That
the
feeling.
infrastructure and the I would say the arrangement of things on campus. Second time was okay, probably when I was elected as head of class, and the third one was actually having the opportunity to contest, and probably the fourth one will be probably when I graduate.
Definitely.
So
That one is the greatest
yeah,
of all
so
the moments. So now the our final year research project is a major aspect of our journey of FUNAB on campus. So I want you to walk us through what your project is all about.
all right. So currently I'm working on the research of effect of cereal mixture on hydroponic product, so on the nutritive quality or value of hydroponic product. Let me just explain in layman terms.
Exactly, I was going
Like
to say that.
I'm basically working on cereals like millet, sorghum, and maize. So I'm checking on the nutritive quality using the growing method of hydroponics. I don't know if you know what hydroponics is. Hydroponics is the growth or is the growing of plants in
With
the absence of
water,
soil, in presence
using
of
water.
water. So I'm not growing my cereals with
In a
soil. I'm just
normal,
growing them with water. And as long
okay.
as I'm growing them inside water, I'm just applying the right amount of water that requires them to grow using the
Okay.
nutrient present inside their endosperm.
Okay,
So you get,
okay.
that's what I'm just working on, and to check, okay, is the nutrient quality of the stuff, is it higher, or is it the same thing as growing with the soil? So you get, that's what I'm checking.
If you go by that you are just applying the right amount of water for them to make use of the nutrients in their endosperm.
Yeah.
So that means it will get to a certain level that they will exhaust the nutrient content. That means they are not to grow very big.
Yes, let me just tell you this. I'm not supposed to, but let me just tell you this. If you are working with hydroponics, the number of days an hydroponics plant can survive is the max is 7 days.
Oh,
And before that 7 days, they will grow to the point of which animals will be able to consume them.
okay.
So you get, so they don't really need to be around for long, but it will give you the results that the soil will give. Like probably you will need to grow in the soil for like 4 to 5 weeks before you can get results. Okay. But what you grow for 4 to 5 weeks, you get it within 7 days using the hydroponics method.
That's nice.
So you get,
That's nice.
so that is just it. Not much, right?
Finally, to wrap this up is looking back. What are there some people you love to appreciate, to say words of appreciation to give shout out to at this point as we move towards the last days in uni?
I first like to give glory to God, because I'll be honest with you, like na him be the backbone, honestly. Then I would like to give thanks to my parents, because those people don't try. Because I'm this kind of child that I'm very stubborn, no borrow. Once where what did you pay them yet that's the kind of child they have. So I would like to thank them for always being patient and always being supportive of everything I do, because some parents immediately they hear their child or their word is going into politics, they'll be like, over ṣe ṣe nǹkan tí kò mọ lọ ṣe ní school. My dad was this kind of person like, okay, that's what you want to do now. Okay, are you sure it will not affect your study? But once about my dad trusts me with my CGPA. This kind of person that he does not really care. He knows that you cannot fail. Because him himself is not someone that I don't want to boast, but my dad is the kind of person that he knows that some time I've been my yalodo. That the kind of person he is. So he's not really bothered about your result, because you know that you will do your best. So he's this very supportive person. He even got to the point that I was broke during that campaigning period. I had to like, oh my dad, what's very do. My dad has to like send me like 25,000. I try to use and do anything wey you want to do. But the outcome, anything outside don't disturb me. But he told me that the tendency I will not win. And the reason why he said so was that I should look at it from this angle. That about politics, if you don't have favor in some particular places, there's no how the power that be will allow you to succeed. Initially, when he said this to me, I didn't really understand.
Yeah.
But after the election, I now understand that if I don't owe some particular people favor, there's no how they work for me. So that's what happened.
Okay.
And
So
lastly, I would like to thank all my friends and everybody I met in FUNAB that made staying on campus worthwhile. So that's all.
thank you so much for coming. It's nice having you on the show. Victor King, thank you so much for coming. So, and that has been an amazing section with Victor King. This is last days in uni. I am Abdulhamid Alabi Adeyemo, an exceptional masterpiece of alcoholic. See you in the next episode. Thank you for watching. Bye.